listening to the Whitewall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the Whitewall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature the Working Poor, the Harmed Brothers, and Rascal Martinez. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching the Whitewall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 7. To submit, go to whitewallsessions.com. The Whitewall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, J. Rick Luthery, The University Center, Screen Flare, The Pink Moon Room, Club David, Great Outdoor Store, local branded convenience stores, Minuteman Press, Vishnu Bunny Tattoo and Piercing, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Legendary South Dakota songwriter Rich Show teamed up with members of Violet, the Union Grove Pickers, JAS Quintet, and the Tinderbox for a special Season 6 session. Consisting of all Whitewall veterans and local musicians, the Working Poor packed the studio for an unforgettable session. The Working Poor is Rich Show, accordion and vocals, Mark Romanowski, guitar and vocals, Lance Beyer, drums, Josh Rick, mandolin, Dominic Osterloh, banjo, Andrew Reinhardt's bass, and Tim Jewell on guitar.
This is called Boys in the Band.
We're here at the Whitewall Sessions with the Working Poor. Welcome.
Thanks.
We
can't swear, right?
Well,
No.
it'd be best if you did. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
I do it
Insert your own
habitually,
beeps.
but I'll try to watch.
So we've got 4 of the 7 people here. I think we may have tied some records tonight. the most number of people on the session, and Andrew, I think you may have tied the record with Connor and Travis of the most Whitewall sessions.
Nice.
Appearances.
How many have you
I've
done?
been working. Oh, man. Well, I did, I think this is like my 7th.
Really?
Yeah.
This is my 4th, so I'm
You're up there.
catching up with you.
Not if he's on the same bill. You're just going.
That's right. That doesn't count.
See that?
We got to get in a couple of bands without you.
Yeah.
So we are here with Rich Show and Mark Romanowski, Andrew Reinhardt, Josh Rick, and we had Dominic Osterloh, Tim Jewell, and Lance Beyer to make up the Working Poor. So there's sort of a group of musicians in town that make up various Rich Show bands, let's say. When and how did the Working Poor form? I remember seeing them quite a few years ago. When did this group come together?
It was back in like 97 or 98.
What,
We were
It wasn't
just-
that late, was it? It was like 90s. Was Violet done? The first version of Violet done?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would have been like 97.
Yeah, because
then.
Justin was playing with us.
Yep.
And Mark was gone. And yes, back in around that time. And I had bought an accordion at the pawn shop. I thought, well, this will be cool, to try something with that. And then we thought, well, I should say I thought, and everyone went along with me. No, the idea was, let's play something that's not rock and not country.
Or roots?
Yeah, or
and
roots.
kind of specifically with acoustic instruments.
Right. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
So
Then we just kind of started rolling from there. And
So
I think
when-
those first batch of songs are the only things we've ever co-written too.
right.
Because I didn't think I wrote them really, because Rich kind of would squeeze but I figured out the chords
Right.
to what he was playing.
Based
And then
on-
when
he would
that
hit this button and you-
Violet's 3-disc album came out, and we did a bunch of the Working Poor kind of scattered throughout that album. It's written by Rich Show and Mark Romanowski. I'm like, wait, I didn't write these. And I'm like, oh, well,
I was
kind of.
giving it to you.
I know,
giving
but
you
I
some
did have
props.
to figure out the chords.
Right.
And like,
But you
what
still have to
went
figure out
underneath
my
your
chords. So I guess
squeezing,
you wrote all my songs.
words and music. So how did you put this latest lineup together?
I think it's just been knowing various people and oh, we need a mandolin player. Who do you know that plays mandolin? Oh, Josh. And thanks for doing this with
it was
us.
mainly
pleasure.
for that different folk album, right? You
Right,
wanted to put
yeah.
some of these songs on that, and so we just found the people who could play that stuff.
And then we kind of had so much fun doing it that it was like, hey, maybe this is the thing we should gig on a few more times.
Let's talk about that album for a minute. That was Rich's. That was the future. This is the past, which was basically for the people around the country listening to this podcast and radio. That was Rich Show has been a songwriter, player here and see. Don't roll your eyes because you've been here. You are really. I don't want to use the word legend, but you are sort of that in that vein. And
I like that term better. Sort of a legend. That works better for me anyway.
And so you came out, you put a record together of all, sort of different eras of your songwriting and playing in bands and that.
Right. Well,
And so-
Andy Howes from Different Folk approached me on that and asked if I would be interested.
came
I
to you
think
on
he
that.
approached Phil first, and Phil approached me, and it's like, whatever. It's like dating in junior high. Hey, what do you think if you? Yeah.
And he checked yes on the little.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell her I like her.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, then became it just became this huge colossal recording.
Well, so as you, for that record, went back through sort of your catalog of songs, did you discover things that you'd kind of forgotten about? And
Oh yes, yeah. There's different periods that we did that forgotten about the songs altogether. Like Catholic family radio songs.
Yeah.
You know.
I forgot about the Working Poor, and we put an album out.
Right. Yeah. And it's like
Until last year when you were talking about these songs, I'm like, oh yeah, there was that band. And then earlier tonight we did a Catholic family radio song, and I forgot about that band too. And I think we put an album out in that too, right?
well,
Kind of?
yeah, kind of. Okay. Yeah.
I want to come back to that Catholic family radio.
But
Oxford
those,
Commentator.
I mean, there was a handful of songs there that I thought were just some of the better stuff that we'd done or that I'd done, writing wise. And then, yeah, it's like, wow, it'd be nice to get those brought into the public view or whatever. I don't know if it's public, but get a good recording of it.
Yeah, right. So Andrew and Josh, when Rich approached you to do these, had you seen Rich before when you were a younger generation when you were growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not from Sioux Falls, so I was probably the least familiar of anybody. I think I'd seen Violet on a couple of the more recent reunion type shows, but that was about the extent of my knowledge. I know Rich's kids.
I was going to say that's probably
They're
how
the
I know Rich
famous
too. 'Cause
ones
I
now.
was
Right.
Ari and I went to high school together, and then got to know Eli, and Isaac played in my basement a ton in punk and kind of hardcore bands back in the day, and so I knew all the kids, or 3 of the 4. So now 4 of the 5 shows that I know, I've played music with. There's one brother that doesn't play music that I kind of forget about.
Ian.
So I always say, I've played music with every show, and they're like, no.
Just give it a cowbell at something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'd kind of gotten to play with everybody else, and so then when this opportunity came up to work with these guys, it was kind of a no-brainer. And I think for me, I did some quick string arrangements for the sister show, which was a Prince kind of tribute act that Romanowski and a bunch of people did, and so then Rich kind of came up with the idea to try to add some strings and horns to some of the Violet tunes, and we did that for kind of a reunion show, and then as the record was coming together, it's like, well, hey, let's throw these on there. And so then that kind of got all of us in the mix and for the recording, and then the Working Poor, and kind of went from there.
Next song is Dance with the Devil. Yeah, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4.
She belongs to you in a pirate's tomb. Motion line faded in a necktie wound. Oh, I know she's coming home. On a hairy night, she can see her eye. Back from the dead, she can tell what I. Oh, I know she's coming home.
Coming up after the break, the Harmed Brothers.
You are listening to the Whitewall Sessions Radio.
The Harmed Brothers are a 5-piece rock group from Portland, Oregon. The group originally started out as the duo of Ray Vietti and Alex Salcido in 2009. They've recently released their self-titled album, The Harmed Brothers. The Harmed Brothers are Ray Vietti, guitar, key, and vocals, Alex Salcido, guitar, key, and vocals, Matthew McClure, bass, Ryan Land, drums, Zach Kilmer, pedal steel, guitar, and vocals.
This first song is called Greetings from Mardi Gras.
Stopped off on the side of the road. You tried your best to ease my mind and let me know that you're mine. It's a long, long drive, Mardi Gras. Driving 90 down the interstate. No need to hurry, you won't be late. It's a long, long drive, Mardi Gras. Outside in the parking lot, I woke up tired with the wheel in my hand. Felt you slipping again. Thanks, guys.
We're here at the Whitewall Sessions with the Harmed Brothers. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Ray, can I ask you to introduce this fine set of musicians here?
Sure. This is Randall Land. No, this is Ryan Land here on my left. He's our drummer. Alejandro Salcido, Alex Salcido. He's the talent of the operation. On the end, Zach Kilmer, the guitar and pedal steel man, and Gene Simmons' long-lost son, Matt McClure, on the bass.
Stick the tongue out. Let's see. So I wanted to say you all are from Eugene, Oregon, but as Alex and I were talking, it's kind of parts unknown, right? So where is this band? What do you call home at this point?
Do you want me to field that question?
Whoever wants.
The van.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier upstairs, and I think the correct answer to it is that we've really never had a bass, really at all. I mean, Alex and I met in Oregon on a tour that Zach and I and our then drummer and his brother Ben Kilmer were on, and we met Alex in Oregon, and then he joined the band, and Alex and I kind of did it as a duo for a while, and then Zach and Ben came back. So we were in Oregon, then we moved to North Carolina to be kind of hanging out with them, and then we kind of disbanded a little bit again, and we've just kind of gone everywhere. Kind of, I feel like we're kind of misfits in a way that we're kind of just looking for a home. We're all from different places, everywhere, and we're just looking for somewhere that kind of just makes sense for all of us to be at the same place at the same time. And we've yet to find that outside of the van.
Well, there's some Kentucky people in here too, right? Alex, you're living in Kentucky?
Currently, so is he. Yep. Been hiding out in Ludlow, Kentucky, just right across the river from downtown Cincinnati.
And you're originally from Los Angeles?
Yeah. I lived there till I was about 20, and then I moved up to Oregon.
And how long ago did you meet Ray and start the duo that Ray was talking about?
We met on my 21st birthday at a bar at the local watering hole.
At what stage of the night? Were you still coherent?
Just enough. He bought me some drinks, and we just hung out, and we just turned into hanging out and writing songs.
The rest is history,
So what is it that connected about you guys? Was it music? Or was it just he's buying beer?
I think I want to feel that because I think at that moment it was probably that I was just buying beer. But he had a great act with a buddy of ours, Guthrie McClenny, and they called it Termite Dog. And some of our songs that we play now were Termite Dog songs. In fact, one of the songs we played tonight was a Termite Dog song.
Really? Under the Axe.
Yeah, it's called Under the Axe. And so I remember meeting Alex and being like, oh, yeah, all right. And then they played some music, and I was like, wow, this kid's pretty good, And he and Guthrie kind of saved my ass in a sense. Can I say that?
You did.
I did. They saved my butt in a sense.
Your bottom.
As I just I was in a tight spot and I needed some help musically, and they stepped in, and we just Alex and I never looked back from that point.
And how long ago was that then? How many years?
2009.
2009.
Okay, so good.
We're closing in on a solid decade.
Sure.
Of this, I don't even know what to call it anymore, this band. I wanted to call it something else to be fun, but I couldn't do it.
Well, when did this lineup actually get together and start playing? With Matthew
couple
and
years.
15?
Yeah, about
2015?
He likes to give himself a little bit more credit.
16, sorry.
We've known
the
Ryan for a
difference.
long time. We used to crash on his couch when we played in Kansas City, Missouri. We'd come through, and he was in bands that would share bills with us, or they'd just be hanging out, or maybe they had a show across town. But at the end of the night, we'd all be at his house partying. So we knew him, and when we needed a drummer that we felt like could be there, we asked him, and through time, he kind of decided that was where he wanted to be.
and singing songs. I met your brother, he was acting tough. And then we all went inside where you were drawing lines at your parents' house with credit cards and kitchen knives. It was you and me, baby, lying side by side. I was falling asleep, you were chasing the night. And I don't know what I was thinking. It seemed like a good idea. Now I feel my heart sinking as our love disappears. Stranger's house, but all the country songs on Broadway wouldn't take you away from that boy back home. Said his love won't fade away. Yeah, your best friend, he's still in love with you, and you just don't see what you're putting me through. Now you're calling me crazy, saying I lost my mind. Holding his hand since I left that night. Goodbye. And I don't know what I was thinking. It seemed like a good idea. Now I feel my heart sinking, 'cause baby our love has disappeared.
Thank you, thank you. Coming up after the break, Rascal Martinez.
You are listening to the Whitewall Sessions Radio.
Singer-songwriter Rascal Martinez hails from Denver, Colorado. Rascal grew up in a small town in Nebraska, where he went from recording albums in a home basement studio to the professional studios of Nashville, Tennessee. Rascal channels a mix of rockabilly, folk, and country with subtle Latin undertones. Rascal Martinez is Rascal Martinez, guitar and vocals, Marcelo Sanchez, drums, and Sam McCravey on bass.
Everything good? Yeah, good. This is a song called Hold On. Thank you so much. Woo. That's the only one we had to do, right?
We're here at the Whitewall Sessions with Rascal Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Rascal, can you introduce these guys?
Yeah, this is my brother Marcelo Sanchez, plays the drums, percussion, and Sam McCravey on the bass guitar over there.
And y'all are from Denver right now, but
Yep.
grew up in small town Nebraska.
Yeah, a little small town called Sutherland, Nebraska. Like 1,200 people. We went to high school and kind of spread out from there. So it's a nice little town.
So when did you move to Denver?
So these guys have lived over there for a little bit. I travel back and forth quite a bit, but the last year or so just been. But we just travel everywhere. I'm always on the road, so doing something.
So on the road, and you picked up Sam in Denver.
Yeah,
Tell us how
so
that
we were needing a bass player, and it just came that we were on Craigslist, and we found him about a couple days after that. We put it on and got a couple of jam sessions in and talked that we were gonna see what he could do and if he wanted to go on the road with us. And we were fortunate enough that he did, so that was nice. And so we started right there after that and went on tour about 2 weeks later. So
You made a good choice.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I always appreciate compliments, especially ones I've heard before.
So what did you think when you joined this group for the tour?
Yeah, I didn't know much about it. A friend told me about it. She was like, hey, there's this ad on Craigslist looking for a bass player if you're looking for more work. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do like working. Well, I don't like working, but, I probably should do it sometimes. And so I met these guys and everything, and I was like, hey, I like the music. I like, being on the road and stuff and having fun playing bass. So it's a win-win no matter what happens, I guess. Or, I hope so.
Well, great songs that these guys are playing, so you got to go right in there. Tell me about the Martinez household growing up. You got your brother Marcelo on drums and you.
Yeah.
Were you the only two playing, or were there more music?
So Marcelo has been playing. Well, how old you when you started playing?
Long time, like 20 years probably.
Wow.
Played all through school and played a little bit in college, and then Rascal and I were young. We were probably I was probably 13, and he was probably not 10 or 8. Something like that.
No, it was really
You're pretty little guy, so I showed him a couple of chords, and I just wanted to jam with him. He was getting old enough to do that, so so I taught him a couple, and then I left for college and came back, and he was well beyond where he was before. We started playing a lot of shows, and
it's better.
Yeah, it still wasn't good. It was just better.
A lot of basement shows, right? Right away, and then turned into recording in Nashville and playing House of Blues, and
wow,
a lot of cool stuff.
It's been going from there, but a
couple years.
Yeah, it was started jamming in the basement, and I think the first song Marcelo showed me was the White Stripes. It was Seven Nation Army. That's the first song I learned on the guitar, and then I just kind of went from there and started doing basement shows. And I know people probably cringed their ears for the first couple of years, but just been progressing and haven't stopped since. So kind of been going at it.
Well, it sounded great. So Big Brother taught you how to do chords. Is it kind of like the Van Halen brothers, where you started on guitar and you started on drums, or did you start guitar?
Oh no, I'd never be a drummer probably, but I just dabble a little bit. But
he's pretty good. He doesn't give himself enough credit. He's a pretty good drummer. So
well, I just stay back. I stick to what I know. But we have a lot of fun, and sometimes we switch off when we're just rehearsing and stuff and just hanging out, and so it's a lot of fun. But I mean, we're musicians and we love music, so whatever we can make noise with.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So you've got some other projects. I mean, you've got this is your original music band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you've got some other sort of tribute type thing.
So the same, we all do the same thing too. We play a lot of corporate gigs, a lot of weddings and stuff, and those really, I mean, I know a lot of bands that don't do covers and all that stuff, and I totally get the whole thing behind it. But at the end of the day, it's a job, and we love doing it. We're entertainers at the end of the day too, as well, and we know the difference between a whitewall sessions compared to like a 4-hour gig that they want Van Morrison and
sure.
some, other
Play the
stuff
hits.
like that, right? Yeah, all the hits and stuff, and so. We do a lot of 50s and 60s shows too, as well, like in art centers, and this is fun because it doesn't matter what we're playing if we're just entertaining and interacting with the fans and stuff. I mean that's what it's all about, And I think people forget that sometimes. Like I'm not there just to sing my heart out. I mean, like of my own songs. Of course, I love to do that, but I love to get people that they know that song and then maybe it brings them back to a memory. And I play a lot of senior centers and stuff too, and you can see that, and people brings it back to where. memory, a good memory or something like that back in the day. And that's, music's super powerful and it can do a lot.
Absolutely. Well, cover bands definitely are important because a lot of times, the musicians in cover bands are better than the originals because they need to play like this person on that song and that person on that song. They have to know all these songs. So, there's a lot of chops there. When you're practicing covers and learning covers, does that affect your own music?
I think what we do, we don't really, we try to stay to the basics of like the song because obviously we want people to know what song it is. And we don't go crazy either, like, oh, wow, that's that song. Like, I wouldn't guess that. But we definitely put our own spin on it and put our own, and we don't try to do that. Like, we don't plan on, like, maybe we should do something different here. We just learn the song and then we play it. Right, guys? We just put our own thing naturally, just whatever. Like
sure. After a while, our own flavor kind of
gets our own spin, and it's just fun. We just have a good time. And it's
well,
fun.
yeah, and so you're as much performing as, well, how do I say that? The visuals and the interaction with the crowd are as important as the lyrics and the melodies of the song.
Yeah, of
right?
course. And
it's all a show, bud.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and love when people get into the show. And if they don't want to get into it either, I probably come off pretty strong sometimes, like because I make people get into it. but yeah, if people just want to sit down and enjoy too, obviously, like we're all about that. But I love when to get people involved, and if they're singing along or join.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your voice for a minute. I love your voice. There's a lot of range in there, and there's a lot of soul and grit going on too. When did you discover that? Or maybe I should ask Marcelo that. He'll say, "Yeah, I heard that forever."
I don't know. After he stopped squeaking a little bit there, in his formidable years, he, I don't know. He has always kind of had a raspy voice like that, a little bit, like gravel in his throat or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't sound good like that. But he turned it into something beautiful.
Good.
So.
Yeah.
It's a song called "Never Alone." When I walk along with
The Whitewall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is David Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The Whitewall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Kevin Phipps, Chad Conrad, August Dahlgren, and David Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. Be sure to join us again next week. Same time, same place.
You are listening to the Whitewall Sessions Radio.